No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Ow. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News, as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Good evening, Bronco Nation, and welcome to ExtraMile Arena for the first time in the 2024-2025 season as your Boise State men's basketball team kicks off the season tonight at 7 o'clock on the Mountain West Network and 670 KBOI against Oakland. Hope you can hear us okay. Hope you can see us okay. Let us know. We're excited for this one. Boise State basketball every step of the way. Bronco Nation News. We're going to have you covered with pregame and postgame shows. This is the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. We are super excited to be here and super excited, as always, to have our man Abe Jackson help us kick off the pregame show. Abe Jackson, another year back here in the arena. High expectations for this team. It's going to be fun tonight to get it going.
It's going to be really fun, and the environment will probably be the best opening environment that's ever been at a Boise State basketball game. You know, maybe someone who's listening back in the 80s when they went, they might have had a pretty good crowd. But ever since I can remember playing and doing the radio now for 17 years, I cannot remember an environment that's going to be like this on opening night. Almost a sellout, not quite going to get there. Some singles, some secondary seats available, but not a lot of seats left tonight. And as you said, we're in the sometimes, I remember 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 coming to some of these first games, but to have an announced crowd, probably going to be over 10,000 for tonight's game. We'll see how many actually show up tonight. I'm still guessing the lower level. All the season ticket holders, some of the legacy folks may not come out for an Oakland game on a Wednesday. We'll see. But it'll be by far one of the biggest crowds they've had in a long time. I mean, already 56 minutes till tip-off. There's a little bit of buzz in the arena as the fans are coming in, and for good reason. A lot, record season ticket sales, record student turnout. Football season's kind of carrying into basketball here. And there's a lot of reasons for fans to be excited about this team, and they've stepped up with what they're doing financially with buying tickets and stuff. Well, let's just think about this. This could be the greatest football season, maybe, and the greatest basketball season of all time, and they're happening at the same time. Boise State gets into the playoffs. Maybe they get a win in the playoffs. Boise State basketball makes it to the NCAAs again for the 4th year in a row, and then maybe comes out with their first win. Their roster looks like they could probably get that done. These two sports and the success that the two sports, football and basketball, are having right now makes it very exciting. And I think that's one of the reasons that you're going to see maybe 10,000 plus here on the first game.
Well, a lot of reasons to be excited, as you said, and we'll talk about some of the newcomers and folks that have people excited. But obviously, as you see out there on the court warming up, the preseason Mountain West Player of the Year, Tyson Degenhardt.
Everything just circles around him. He's going to go down as maybe the greatest Bronco of all time, really depending on how this season goes. If they do go to the NCAA tournament, get a win, he's going to be knocking at the door at the all-time leading scorer. I was talking to Bob earlier, and I guess he needs 580-ish points to be the all-time leading scorer. Last year, had a really good scoring season and got around 530. So he's going to have a big year this year, but he's going to be probably top 5 or 10 in rebounds, minutes played, wins. And then nobody in the history of Boise State has been to as many NCAA tournament games as Tyson Degenhardt, especially if they get there this year.
Yeah, and, then you bring back Omar Stanley as well. Not a bad 1-2 punch of, veteran seniors here.
No, it's a fantastic 1-2 punch. And they're guys inside. Omar Stanley, we didn't really know what he was going to do coming over from St. John's, but he was such a nice surprise. And all I can say is that I don't think St. John's utilized him where he can be successful. This Bronco coaching staff saw it, and he was a dominant force inside. And what I love is that he's probably going to be better at shooting threes this year as well.
We'll have that battle going. I knew you were ready to bring that up. We'll have that going all year long. I'm ready for the first attempt where we can look over at me. But, so many other reasons to be excited. But I think the point guard, Alvaro Cardenas, coming over from San Jose State. We're going to hear from him in a little bit. We talked to him yesterday. I wrote about him at BroncoNationNews.com if folks want to go check that out. But I think diehards know that he's a good player. But he was kind of hidden over there at San Jose State. They went 2-16 in conference last year. You put him in this environment with this crowd, this atmosphere. He told us yesterday, and we were shaking his hands doing the interview, Abe, he goes, I've never done this before. I've never done a day before the game interview. He's never had media that big in the scrum to talk with. Like, this is all new for him. But you kind of like a trade in baseball when you throw somebody into a pennant race and they kind of get energized at the end of the season. I think Alvaro Cardenas, for the last year of his college career, is the perfect fit for what this team needs. He can shoot. He can distribute the pick and roll. I think he might be the team player on this team I'm most excited to see tonight.
And he's got some fire in him. If you remember last year, San Jose State comes here and him and Max Rice get into a little bit.
Yep.
And that's something you want from your point guard. But about this team as a whole, they have everything this year that they have lacked the last 2 years. 2 years ago, great point guard, Marcus Shaver, but the depth wasn't really there. Last year, the depth was better, but we didn't really have a point guard. This year, on paper, looks like one of the most successful teams in the history of the program with the experience, the talent, the depth, and just everything coming together for this team this year. And, knock on wood, one of the biggest things is everybody stays healthy, but if they do, I think everyone's going to be in for a pretty sweet ride.
And nothing against Roddy Anderson, but just the way they tried to make his game fit this team last year, at times it just didn't quite fit. I feel like Cardenas, being a distributor first, but also a guy that has scored double figures, is a near 40% three-point shooter as well. The fact that he's going to be a threat from the outside, I just feel like Alvaro Cardenas fits a Boise State offense better.
I think that he's going to be a game changer for the Broncos. You got ball handling, defense, shooting, distributing. And when he came over here, that the conversation wasn't, hey, we're bringing you in to be a scoring point guard and giving us 15 to 18 a game. That's not what the conversation was, because you have Stanley and you have Degenhardt inside and you have guys that can score. We've seen Andrew Meadows score quite a few points. So what they needed was someone to play defense, distribute the ball, and be a big-time point guard, and that's what Cardenas is going to be. I'm excited.
Shout out to the Degenhardt family. They're waving at us. They're here tonight. They're excited. Dylan, two other newcomers we're going to see tonight. One of them's in the starting lineup, Dylan Anderson, the 7-foot transfer from Arizona. The other one is Javen Buchanan, who's going to come off the bench tonight. Andrew Meadow is going to get the start in the opener tonight, but a lot of NIL money, a lot of interest from schools for these two guys. Obviously, two huge pieces, Dylan Anderson and Javen Buchanan.
Yeah, they are big pieces, and Buchanan is definitely a scorer. He's going to be out there. He's going to help to get the points on the board. And then with a 7-footer, I haven't seen a lot from Anderson. Of course, this is his first game as a Bronco, but I always am just a little skeptical, I'm going to be honest, when there's 6'11", 7-footer coming around, because it's just so hard to be really productive in what the Broncos need when you have that type of height. We've seen 6'10", 6'11", 7-footers come through with a lot of hype about them, and then midway through the season, the minutes start going down and you don't see him as much. Anderson over here, though, even looking at him warming up, kind of looks like a different breed than some of the other tall guys we've had.
Look at the way that the shoulders and just the way that he's built right now.
Yeah, he's not a slender 7-foot. He's got some size on him. And one thing I'm going to look for a 7-footer and someone who plays inside, do they have good timing? Timing is so important when you're a big guy inside. Can you get those block shots without picking up fouls? That'll be big.
Max Rice is going to join us here in a few minutes. But tell me this. The expectations of this team, being picked to win the conference. First time in the Leon Rice era, believe it or not, Boise State picked to win the conference. The expectations and finally just the target on their back from a basketball perspective. What do you make of that this year?
I think it's fantastic because you have an experienced team that can handle that target. Degenhardt, Stanley, Cardenas, and then since the transfers coming in and Meadow, I think that they're going to be able to handle it. It's not some young team that hasn't really had success and everything is new. All the guys on this team have experienced success either at Boise State or at some different programs. So I like it when they have the target.
Okay, and then going for fourth straight, going to make history this year. I know it's going to be a story all the way till March, but just that whole thing, Tyson Degenhardt, fourth year, can he finally get it done? Can they get that off their back? I mean, I know no one's going to want to talk about it, but unfortunately, the 0-10, whatever.
You'll talk about it.
Sure, we all will. I'm sure you'll come up at some point on your broadcast, but I mean, 0-10 is 0-10. Like, until they win a game, they could go 35-0 and be a number one seed, but until they get that, I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a storyline. So, but it does seem like this year, if there was ever a year for it to happen, if you could ever write a script out in advance, the senior year for Tyson and these guys to finally get it done, it would seem like it's all set up for this year.
It is set up, and not only that, this is one of the better teams on paper at this point in the season that we've ever seen, but the Mountain West is also kind of down. I don't think we're going to send 6 like we did last year.
Yep.
You know, it might be 2, maybe 3 that get out of the that get out of the Mountain West. So you put a really good Boise State team in a conference that might not be as strong. I think they can rack up a lot of wins throughout this year.
Defensively, rebounding, two things they've always kind of been staples of this program. Do you expect both of those to be here again, or what do you expect the identity of this team to be?
You can't play for Coach Rice, Coach Burns, and Coach Duryea if you're not a rebounder. So I know that the rebounding is going to be there. And the defense, I think a lot of it depends on the big guys for Boise State. In how can you defend when point guards and 2 guards of the other team are funneled into you? We've seen big guys pick up a lot of fouls and not be able to stay on the floor, and we've seen big guys do a great job of attacking the ball and maybe not so much the man and affecting a shot. So the interior defense is what I'm going to be watching for in this game and at the beginning of the season.
What do we know about Oakland? What are your thoughts on the actual matchup tonight?
Well, they know how to win. I mean, you have a coach there that's won 700 games. You have a team that their main guys are gone either with graduating or through NIL deals at other schools, but they beat Kentucky in the NCAA tournament last year. Everybody probably remembers Golke going, 9 for 15, all threes.
Yes.
That reminds me
I don't see him out there. Where is he?
No, he's done. He graduated. But it's just a program that knows winning. And you can insert different guys here and there, but the program itself is solid from Oakland. And I think this is going to end up being a good win for the Broncos if they can get it later on in the season.
Final thing, Abe, just your excitement level for this game, this season, basketball being back. It's been a long off season, it seems like, but I know this is the team that people are really going to be excited to follow here for the next 5-6 months.
Yeah, the excitement level's off the charts right now. I think this is the best team on paper at this point in the season that Boise State has ever had. You look at new guys coming in, you transfers, and then you have a bunch of experience coming back from last year. This team, you really could go 8 or 9 deep into the bench. I mean, you could go 4 guys off the bench that have either experience at another school, experience at Boise State, or someone who has redshirted here last year and can come in and give you some good minutes. So I think it's going to be a real fun season. I'm looking forward to it.
Appreciate you, Abe. We're going to do this pregame every game, and then we're hoping for some post games as well. Maybe tonight post game if we can make it work, and we'll see what happens the rest of the season. Maybe you're going to join us Saturday remotely from San Francisco. That may be the only game this year I miss. I'm disappointed in that. They had to schedule a football game at the same time, but 6:30 pregame show, 670 KBOI, right? And then 7 o'clock for the broadcast over there with Bob Beeler.
Bob and I are gone in about 10 minutes.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
Right.
There he is, Abe Jackson. You can hear him again coming up bottom of the hour over there on 670 KBOI. Hey, we're going to have Max Rice join us. We're going to have John Mallory join us. Don't go anywhere. We're excited for what we got coming up on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. Western Collective, our studio sponsor here at BNN. Check out that Horseshoe Golden Ale or the Orange Chaos Seltzer. Bronco Nation News pregame show. Again, our studio sponsor. They're selling them here at the arena, I believe. The Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Orange Chaos Seltzer. Pick them up. We appreciate Western Collective, our studio sponsor. Our title sponsor, roepaint.com. Check them out, roepaint.com. John Mallory, Prater in the ballgame, going to join us in just a second. But again, all your painting needs, make sure you check out our title sponsor, roepaint.com. Interior, exterior painting, those concrete coatings, they can do it all at roepaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com as well. Check them out, ICCU.com. All your banking needs. Check out Idaho Central Credit Union. We did a live show this morning from Bauscher Real Estate. Hope you were able to check that out. Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com. They bought and helped us buy and sell our home as well. So Matt and his team do a tremendous job. Check them out at Bauscher Real Estate. We got John Mallory, Prater in the ball game. You hurried down here to join us. You're a little shorter than Abe Jackson. I'm going to lower the camera here, but excited for basketball season, man. To be back in ExtraMile Arena. Already fans up in the third deck, 45 minutes before a season opener. This is going to be a lot of fun, man.
Dude, we go back, you and I, in this town with this basketball program. I don't think you nor I have watched more Boise State basketball with anybody else than each other, right? I think you would agree with this. We've seen this program grow over the last decade pretty darn closely. You closer than anyone. And with that, I mean, BJ, opening night against a team, half the people here think it's from Michigan, whatnot. It doesn't matter the opponent.
No, they are from Michigan.
They are.
From California.
Exactly. Yes. You know what I mean on that. But and then BJ, like you said, the balcony is going to be almost packed tonight. BJ, typically when we've been to these openers, there's what? 3,800, whatever, barely any students. Students were here before us. This feels like, and is crazy, what is it, like mid-February? This is early November. It goes to show the job Jeremiah has done. The fan base, people are really getting excited about Bronco Athletics. Prater no longer calls it just an event town. Prater now calls this, hey, Boise, this is a sports town, and these are sports town boxes that cities need to check. Selling out the opener for the first time as far as we can go in the history of at least this arena. So this is a big night, BJ. They're 17, 18-point favorites, so Vegas thinks Boise State's going to come out sharp. I'm just really, really eager, BJ, to watch this team and cover this team this year. Almost excited as you, my friend.
15 points is the KenPom number. 81-66 is the projected score there. Oakland's coming off a win. They already got a win in their first game against an NAIA school. Boise State, obviously, in their season opener tonight. But this is a top 200 team. I mean, Oakland's not Oakland from last year. They're not, as you said. But it's a top 200 team. It's a team that's essentially right about midway in Division I college basketball. There's way worse teams you could be playing for your first game than Oakland. But we see the team warming out here, Johnny. And again, John Mallory, Prater in the ball game. If you have a question or a comment, get it in the chat here. Let us know your score predictions. Let us know where you're watching from. And we're excited for Boise State basketball. But, Johnny, you see the players warming out here. We've watched a little bit of practice, not much. As you see the players warming up, like this first game tonight, here's Alvaro Cardenas. Here's Chris Lockett, kicking it out to Julian Bowie for a three. Like, what are you most excited to see in this opener tonight in terms of players, in terms of just offense, defense? Like, what's John Mallory looking for and most excited to see tonight?
John Mallory here is looking for true, pure point guard play. And that's what Leon and the crew got in Alvaro Cardenas. They got a true, pure point guard, a guy on a lousy team that dropped over 13 points and had over 5 assists per game. You give him a chef. You give them better ingredients in their kitchen. What's going to taste better? The meal. This team, I think, is going to look and play better with more pure professional style point guard play than this team has had. We love big game Shaver. He was a 2 guard that needed to play 1. Acott played a lot of point guard a few years back on a team that went to the tournament, BJ. This is true, pure point guard play. And if people haven't seen Alvaro as much as you or I have, he's good, guys. He's a dog. He's a JYD, and he hits threes at a 40+% clip. He makes open threes, guys. He gets guys open looks. Tough kid. I'll throw that in there again because he really is a grinder. I'm hoping and I'm expecting Alvaro Cardenas, you guys, to have the similar impact that our man DeAndre Brown had last year in Logan, Utah, at Utah State. It felt like that Brown kid had been on that team in that program for 4 years. DeAndre Brown, he was that good at Utah. Dang it, Darius Brown, terrific player. Dang it, I forgot his name. But yeah, it felt like he had been there forever, right when he got there, kind of like Dennis Johnson with the Celtics in the 80s for all my old schools out there tuning in. Alvaro, I think, BJ, gives them that type of pure professional point guard play, and I think he's going to have a terrific season. The other guy that we need to talk about is the 7-footer. Leon has a legit, true, red-blooded 7-footer in this program. He's one of 4 or 5 players ever in Arizona high school basketball history to win their Gatorade Player of the Year award winner 2 times in a row, BJ, to be their winner of that award, and we all want to see if he can play. You've seen kids drop down a level. Arizona, certainly a massive program. Some transition, some you can see why they're dropping down. I want to see what Dylan Anderson can do, and I know you've seen him play more than I have.
Javen Buchanan on the screen right now, excited to see him as well. And what do you make about some of the younger guys? Andrew Meadow, him taking a step forward. He's actually getting the start tonight. Andrew Meadow is going to start at the shooting guard spot tonight for Boise State. Javen Buchanan will come off the bench as the 6th man in this one. But whether it's a Chris Lockett, who redshirted last year, whether it's Julian Bowie, a freshman player. We mentioned R.J. Keene, Emmanuel Ugbo, a backup big two, like just some of the non-quote-unquote star, big 3, big 4. What do you make about the improvements and what we want to see from some of those guys?
Man, a couple of things. R.J. Keene, I still want to know what his role is going to be. I think me and you talk about that a lot. Here's a guy who's a 4th-year sophomore, been in the program a long time, has had, when he got here and when he's been healthy, coaches have said really nice things about his game. And I don't think RJ yet has been allowed to play through his mistakes. One of those roles, it's so hard in basketball where you're the 8th, 9th guy, and if you get in and if you don't do something correct, you're out instantly type of thing. Such a short leash. You don't get to play through your mistakes. We'll see if RJ can do a little bit more of that, but I will say real quick about the interesting part of RJ's role. He needs to be, BJ Raines, a 40%-ish three-point shooter. That's his biggest asset to this team, his shooting. He's got to hit 40%. This is college basketball 2024. You shoot, you hit. It's a make-or-miss sport right now behind the arc. The teams that defend the 3 well and the teams that hit the 3 well are playing in March. That's what this team does well, as you well know, and that's why they're going for 4 straight.
I only got you for 3 more minutes here due to contractual obligations. Max Rice is going to follow you and join us here next. That was your idea, and I texted him, and he's like, nobody wants to hear from me anymore. I said, sure they do. That's going to be weird tonight, not seeing Max Rice out on the court.
Thinking about that, too. And it just hit me like an hour or 2 ago, too. Like, I'm going to see Tyson Dagenhart play basketball tonight. Omar Stanley, like in a real, legit, this game counts type of situation. I love it. Yeah, it's going to be odd without Max. He is in the house. I love that. He's getting ready to go play in Australia, I believe, in January. So I know Bronco Nation will want to see him a hell of a lot more than me on your Lithia 4 pregame show.
Any final thoughts for the game tonight, the season, the excitement? Just obviously going to be a fun next 4, 5, 6 months here for this team, this program. 4 straight NCAA tournaments, is the goal. Winning that first tournament game is the goal, and Boise State believes this is the team that can finally do that.
If I was a Boise State fan, I'm one of these fans, I'd be nervous about tonight because Oakland is that's a legit mid-major program, whether it was in the Summit League or the Horizon or whatever the hell league they're playing in now. Their coach, Campy, been there since the 80s. I mean, it's crazy. Like, this is a good outfit, guys. These guys run a quality program for the money they have. Don't be surprised if this gets a little touchy tonight. The 17-point spread, I'm not a fan of if I am a fan of Boise State.
Johnny, we appreciate you as always, man. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you guys.
John Mallory, Prater in the ball game. 3 to 6. You can hear him weekdays on KTIK 95.3. The Ticket. Again, Max Rice going to join us shortly. Don't forget Ridley's at Family Markets. ShopRidleys.com. We appreciate them. Hometown grocer. Great local feel. Friendly environment when you walk in there. Get 40% off at the savings at the checkout line using their Skip app in your local smartphone app. And again, ShopRidleys.com. Find a location near you. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game. TheSpaTeam.com. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. Check them out, whether it's a pool table for the game room, a spa for the back patio, a sauna. They got you covered. Again, check out their full inventory at one of their local locations at TheSpaTeam.com. Lithia Ford of Boise. The fall kickoff sale is underway, and it is still going. Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com. Lithia Ford Boise. They got NIL deals with 6 student athletes at Boise State, and they're ready to help you out as well for your next car or truck purchase. Get that full inventory on LithiaFordBoise.com. And Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, SON Management, the Nicolason family. We appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. Check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. If you're looking for a job, they can help you out. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. Great work environment, and they can help you out at Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. Let's hear from Alvaro Cardenas before Max Rice joined us. Alvaro Cardenas speaking to the media on joining the Broncos.
Level, your first game for Boise State tomorrow night.
Man, I can't wait. We've been off season so long, and we've been preparing for 6 months, 7 months, whatever it is, and just can't wait to play in front of fans for the first time. So yeah, we're super excited.
You talk so much about just the culture here and the facilities, and you mentioned the fans and the arena, just getting that taste for the last couple months. But as you said, now just really kicking this thing off tomorrow. What is the feeling like? And how grateful are you, I guess, to be here?
Yeah, I'm super grateful. I couldn't have chosen a better program. I truly mean this. And couldn't have chosen a better fan base. I can't wait to finally play in front of fans. Sold out, which is amazing. Non-conference game, so just super excited and can't wait to start off the season.
Alvaro, coming from a program that typically didn't win a ton of games to a program that has won a lot of games, as you tried to fit in with Omar Stanley and Tyson Dagan, our guys that have been here for a while, what did you feel like you had to do immediately, maybe earn respect or whatever, or just fit in?
Yeah, well, I think from the very first moment, they've allowed me to be myself. They played against me multiple times, so they knew the type of player that I was. So I'm so grateful for those guys to just let me, do my leadership role and just be who I am. And my focus is just come in here and try to make their life a little bit easier. And at the same time, the coach has been encouraging to just be myself and play the way that I know, because I'm just a generous guy who's going to get them the ball, so they'll probably like playing with me.
Again, somebody described me as you're not really a guy that was immediately worried about making friends, but meant you're eager to hold people accountable and stuff like that. Why is that part of the way that you feel like it's important to lead, I guess?
Yeah, well, leading isn't always easy, and there's times where you got to say things that people don't want to hear. And I feel like I've always done that, the same way that people are going to hold me accountable. I feel like I've always just told people what I thought. And sometimes they might not like to hear it, but it's all coming from a good place. I'm trying to get them better and get the team better. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Obviously,
somebody that knows Alvaro Cardenas and maybe not wanting to always hear what he has to say is Max Rice. Max, man, good to see you again. Thanks for joining us on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show here. One of the many storylines is Alvaro Cardenas. We'll get to you and what you got going on now, but what do you think of him joining the team here, and what was he like to play against?
So that's what you're opening up with. I love it. I love it. Alvaro's a great teammate. I went to a couple practices since I've been back, and just a great teammate, good dude. Shares the ball like I heard him talk about. And I think you'll see that tonight. Just all the little things he does for a team, the program, the way he leads them. That leadership will be huge. And I'm just excited to see these guys play tonight. It's been a long time since they've been back on the floor, and I'm excited.
And I guess when you guys had your little scuffle, like Leon Rice said in the postgame, or said at some point, I need a guy like that next year.
Yep.
That fire, that competitiveness. Alvaro told us yesterday that he almost got into it with you in the game in San Jose first when there was an elbow or something thrown. But just his competitiveness and his fire, they're saying that maybe he's going to replace some of that you had, leaving. But what do you make of him just as a teammate and as a competitor and as a winner?
I think every team needs a guy like that who will just, in practice, kind of be a jerk, push people to be better. If everyone's comfortable, you're not going to get better, So Let's rewind a little bit, though. I'm just happy to be back, man. Every time I talk to you, I think it's going to be the last time.
Yes.
But I'll just keep coming back. We'll keep doing it. I'll start charging you for this kind of stuff.
Hey, you know what? Hey, we can maybe make it a weekly thing. We're happy to do that now. It's legal.
See how it goes. Yeah.
But you were in Spokane the other night.
I was.
That must have been a fun game to see. And unfortunately, your boy Joe had an unfortunate moment. But
no, I don't want to talk about that. That was sad for us coaches' kids. But no, Joe. Hey, he does everything he can out there. He went vertical. We're actually thinking about starting the Go Vertical podcast and see if we can get some traction there. Because I mean, he did everything he could. He got back on defense. Shout out Dusty Stromer for being an awful teammate there, setting him up for a 3-on-1
against a top five pick.
Yeah. Also, Joe, you got to do your research, buddy. I was watching mixtapes on my drive up to Spokane of that kid. It was ballsy, but we'll see.
All right. So you signed in Denmark or something, but you're back now. Now you're going to Australia, or what's the update? Why are you here?
Yeah. So I played in Denmark for a couple months. Got to see Europe. It was a great opportunity. Actually played for a guy who was on Leon's staff back in the day, Coach Polapovich. He's a great coach. They're undefeated down there, but got an opportunity out in Perth. And I'm thinking about exploring that very soon. So it's good to be back here and see all these people and kind of connect with the community as a fan. Definitely a weird experience, but just the energy in Boise is unmatched at this time of year, especially with how the football team's doing. So I'm very happy to be back.
Now, the last home game on your senior night, your mom came on and sat here and we talked, about your career. And now the first home game, you're back. And what is it like being on this side of it? And you've been to a couple of the scrimmages, a couple of the practices, but you knew this day would come, but to be in the stands now to watch a game for the first time in 6-7 years, what is the feeling like right now? 28 minutes till tip off.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the nerves are different, because there's nothing I can do except yell at Leon from behind the bench now. So it's weird. I don't like it. I think I'd rather help the team in other ways, but it was my time, and it's great to just be here around people and the energy, and especially everything coming into this season. I saw ticket sales and all of this stuff just adding up.
Oh, a first game to have the balcony already have people in it 30 minutes before tip-off. I've never seen that in my time here.
And that's amazing, and that's growth, I think, for the program, and you'll see all the work they've been putting in this summer, man. They look great. They're a great team with a lot of size. So
Robbie says, are you going to come back with an accent?
I would like that. I want to have a kid over there, so he's part Australian. Is that how that works? I'm not media trained anymore either, so I can say whatever I want.
Yes, you can.
RJ Key needs to play harder. I know that.
All right, there you go. What are you most excited as a fan now of the program? What are you most excited about the team this year?
I think just they got a lot of depth and size. I think I watched their practice the other day. I'm like, this has got to be a top 10 team based off pure size. I think their starting lineup is one of the bigger starting lineups in the country. I just went to a top 10 matchup, and Baylor, I'm pretty sure Boise State's much bigger than Baylor. So they have the size, the skill, everything that would check off on a paper. I think they have it. So don't want to speak too much about it until they actually do it.
Tyson Degenhardt, if he can average a little over 18 points a game this year, he could become the all-time leading scorer at Boise State. I think he's another guy kind of like yourself that people maybe aren't going to truly appreciate until they're gone. Obviously, he's just been a staple. He's going to get his 15, 20 points a game, and it just seems like it's old hat. But his senior year, it's going to be exciting for him as he chases history here.
Yeah, I think it's crazy how everything comes together. Genty being a loyal guy, Daggy being a loyal guy, they're the same number. They're some of the best athletes in the country, and they're both going to get paid off for it very well. And you'll see that tonight. Obviously, you've seen it his whole career. So I'm excited to watch him and get he deserves everything in the world. So he's going to play great tonight.
What about Andrew Meadow? We didn't get to see a ton of him in games last year. You think he's ready to bust out this year?
I think there's a lot of guys that deserve a lot of opportunity out there. Leon definitely plays. He trusts his older guys, and people have been in the program. That's why Daggy gets so many minutes. But I think Meadow's ready. I think Julian's going to play well tonight. That's my
Julian.
That's my secret pick there.
Okay.
A little freshman action. But
what about Lockett too?
Yeah, Lockett.
Tell us about him, because he obviously redshirted, and I know it maybe almost got to play at one point last year.
Yeah, Lockett's a very physical player. He was guarding me every day in practice last year, and he plays very hard. So I think a lot of pressure is coming out of him tonight, and he's a dog. So we'll see how that goes.
The Broncos taking the floor here. We're about 25 minutes till tip-off. Crowd making some noise as Boise State takes the court for warm-ups here. Defensively, I think the last 3 years, top 30 at Ken Palm. Mike, your good old friend Mike Burns. Is this going to be another defense, rebounding kind of focus for this team?
I think so. I mean, in the couple of the scrimmages I watched, I think they're a lot more offensively focused than we have been in the past.
Okay.
And you'll see that tonight. So my prediction is a Boise to score about 91 points is what I'm thinking.
Tonight.
So,
okay.
Tonight.
The Ken Palm's number only 81. So there you go. Get to your local bookie and take the over, I guess.
It's going to be 91 to 73.
90,
so I don't know where that matches up with the books.
That would cover. That would be a Boise State cover.
That would cover. Yeah.
Grant Teton says, big Max Rice fan. Glad he's doing well. The fact that your dad is still here, the fact that what he's built, going for 4 straight tournaments, just as someone, as we talked about, that has seen this thing kind of continue to build and rise. Now that you went from fan to player to now back to fan, but what's it like just to, as you do look around and see all these people and see the excitement for the team this year and just see how far this thing's come and see what your dad has built here and what this program now is on a year in and year out basis?
Yeah, it's truly amazing, man. I just drove down to Spokane. I'm like, God, I miss Boise. It's so clean. The people are so great. So every time I leave Boise, I'm like, yeah, that's a special place. And I'm just glad that we've got to grow up here. And who would have thought he'd be here for almost 2 decades already? And I mean, I'll always love Boise. It's my true home. And hopefully I can retire here someday. If I don't go to Australia, I'll just retire now. But this is a great city. The people are great. We got any more questions? I want to start answering. All
right, we'll get it. You got a couple more minutes here. If a fan has a question for Max Rice, get it in. Now, I got one that I've always wanted to ask. You said you're now not part of the program. You can say what you want. Has your dad ever been close to leaving?
No. He absolutely loves it here. Bro, that was a trap question. You know I've had a couple beers, man. Come on now.
You said it. You said you want to take some questions here. We know Washington State's been around. We know he interviewed at St. Louis. Like, I know there's been opportunities. Then his name came up, obviously, I think, at Washington. But just in general, I know there have been opportunities out there that he's seriously considered. But I would have to think right now.
Oh, such a trap.
Hey,
I'll tell you this. People have been interested in him, and he loves it here. And he hasn't left. He's refused to leave. We got Cam Martin in the chat. I love it. I don't know what he's saying.
He said trap question.
Yes, trap question. You got to stay away from BJ, man.
If Leon leaves, Max can replace him, Cam says. There you go.
Okay, yeah. I like that. I'll get on staff here.
But I guess the bigger point is, like, yes, he has interviewed. He has had opportunities. He's time and time again wanted to stay. And I think this is part of the reason why he has stayed. And now I think that this program, the fans, everybody are kind of reaping the benefits of that.
Yeah, and you see it with the ticket sales. I think people are interested, especially just in Boise State sports in general. I went to the football game last week. That was unbelievable, just the atmosphere. Jeremiah Dickey's created an insane level at this program in all sports. So,
Robbie says, what was your favorite moment from a rivalry game?
Probably some of those San Diego State wins. I mean, I heard Dutcher talking about it, that it's become a rivalry, man. Every game is 1 or 2 points, besides that one time we were missing Naj and Shave, but those games were.
That's the only time they've got you the last 3 years.
Yeah, one time, right?
Yeah, 6-1. Yeah,
but they got us by quite a bit of points, so I think the points are close in those matchups. But we've also played Oakland a couple times. All these deals are. It's good to see ball game too, man.
Yeah, you guys shared out a hug earlier. I noticed that. I wish I had my camera out.
I'm gonna take him for some drinks after this, man. Can we get him to the?
Right.
Yeah, let's go. That's my buddy.
The mustache, he's saying. Look at that. Look at that.
I'll come back every week if we can get this guy interviewing me. That's for sure. Give him a raise. Let's go.
Which school had the meanest fans to play in front of? Grand Teton.
Utah State. Shout out Utah State. I hate them, but I love them because they got great atmosphere. You can't hate because they show up, man. But hey, they're I could give them some good information on some of these other. I'll just stop talking.
Yeah. Gonna miss Max on the floor. Someone says here. What do you make of, I mean, we've talked about it, but just the whole father-son thing and whether it was fair or unfair, all the criticism that came at times. Like, your dad doesn't have to answer any of those questions anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about that. I'm sure he'd love to have you for another year. I'm sure he'd love to be out there. But that whole thing not having to be in the back of his mind, answering questions from me and Jay or whoever, or looking at tweets, whatever else. Like, and will he ever, you think, admit, like, take a deep breath or just say, you know what, that part of it's going to be kind of nice this year?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different positives and negatives. Like, he has to come home to an empty house. I know his wife doesn't want to talk hoops all night, so that's definitely a negative for him. But positively, yeah, you guys focus on some of these other young stars coming up. I think Meadow has so much talent. Some of these other freshmen coming in. There's just a lot to look forward to, and just I'm excited to watch all these new guys. Ems looks ridiculous. He's, 260?
Tell us about him. He kind of worked in the dark last year. I'd get here early and see him with Moats doing workouts and things. And, I mean, from a physical standpoint, you're not going to find a more, chiseled physical specimen than him.
No, yeah, he looks like an NFL linebacker. He fell over one time in practice. I'm like, no one should ever push you off any line. You're 260 pounds. So
what does he bring to the table?
He brings the physicality. He can kind of shoot. It's a moon ball, but it goes in, and then just some post work. That's what they have, like 5 different posts that can get you down low. But I mean, a lot of people I'm looking forward to watching here tonight.
Who else?
I mean, let's see. Keen, Keen's my guy, so I'm always hyping up Keen.
Is this going to be the year we see some more from Keen here?
I hope. Yeah, I hope so. He's a grinder. He plays hard. And then the NAI kid, Buchanan, he played really well in their scrimmages. So I'm expecting a lot from him. And then, like I said, Julian.
Yes.
Julian's my guy, Idaho native, baby. Let's get it.
Now, I'm a big referee guy. We got a pretty good crew here tonight, actually.
Yeah, we do. They were working Washington's game last night.
Okay, There you go. Good to know. All right.
Information.
Any final words for the fans here? You're getting a lot of great questions, great comments. They're loving having you on. Maybe we can make this a regular thing. So you're going to be until January. You're going to be around here, the next month or two.
Yep, I'll be at every home game.
How about that, man?
That's the plan.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you got some other people to visit with and see, and thanks so much, man. It's been fun. Fun having you back, and glad we could make this happen, and hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah, let me know.
There he is.
Number.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.
Max Rice, appreciate him for joining us here on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show as Boise State is on the court getting set to take on Oakland in the season opener. Oakland again took down Kentucky in the first round of the NCAA tournament last year. They were a shot or two away from the Sweet 16. Players are a little different. The coach is the same, but there's a lot of reasons to be excited. I will say this. John Mallory knows I'm a nerd for the referees. We've got Keith Kimball reffing this game, who I believe did the national championship game last year. Every time you look on Ken Palm, Keith Kimball is up there in terms of most games officiated, most games reffed. Keith Kimball is a big-time official on this game tonight. There's not a lot of games tonight because a lot of these teams played Monday or Tuesday. Mike Reed also on the game as well. But, again, you see the crowd filing in. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this. Looking forward to this. Let's hear real briefly from Leon Rice ahead of the game. All right, not sure why this isn't playing here. All right, no Leon Rice. Not sure what happened there. Sorry about that. No Leon Rice. Not sure what happened with Leon there. But Boise State predicted to win by 15 at Ken Palm. The spread is 16 or 17. Let's thank a few more sponsors real quick. Transportation Compliance Service, transcompservice.com. Check them out online, transcompservice.com. Check them out, transcompservice.com for all your trucking needs if you want to get into the trucking industry. The blueandorange.store.com, check them out. Travis Hawks and Company, we had fun doing the show this morning. Check out Travis Hawks and Company. Travis Hawks, the Blue and Orange Store, the blueandorangestore.com for all your Boise State gear. Don't forget about Jackson's as well. If Ahmed Hassani gets that sack on Monday, you can get the 91-cent coffee or fountain drink at Jackson's on Monday. That coffee or fountain drink at Jackson's just 91 cents when Ahmed Hassani gets a sack. And don't forget, 25 cents from every hot dog goes to help the Horseshoe Collective at Boise State. Speaking of food, how about Lean Feast? LeanFeastMeridian.com. Check them out. LeanFeastMeridian.com. 10,000 plus combinations, healthy eating options. Check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. You will not be disappointed. And don't forget about Signature Roofing. Get your voicemails in for the postgame show. I got no co-host on the postgame show. It's just me and you guys. So after the game, go to speakpipe.com/BNN. Give us a voicemail, your thoughts on the game, the team, the season, whatever you want to do. And we'll pick, if we get a good one, we'll give you a gift card to the James Kitchen and Bar. Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. Re-roofs, inspections, all kinds of great options. They'll help you out. Check them out, mysignatureroofing.com. It's a local roofing company that does great work in the Treasure Valley. And they got an NIL deal with RJ Keene, who is going to join us tomorrow morning 9:30 tomorrow morning, RJ Keene will join us on BNN Live. So make sure you check out RJ Keene tomorrow morning, courtesy of mysignatureroofing.com and Signature Roofing. Look at the crowd. I mean, we got fans. We're 20 minutes from tip-off, and we got fans up in the second level and the third level. This is going to break all kinds of first-game records tonight. Big-time crowd expected, a big-time atmosphere for Boise State and Oakland in the season opener here tonight. We appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Michael C. says he's right behind us, wherever Michael C. is. Appreciate him for checking out the show. We got other folks here as well. Pretty crowded. I mean, there's a big-time fan contingent, but a big-time media contingent as well. We're packed here in the media first and second rows. Not used to this either, but the lower level is full for the student section here. We're into the second deck for the students. We're going to be probably an announced crowd of over 10,000 for tonight's season opener against Oakland. This is going to be a lot of fun. Really excited for this. And, again, Boise State, Oakland coming up. The game, for those of you asking, is on the Mountain West Network. You can check out the Mountain West Network to watch this game tonight. And, again, Bob and Abe as well are over there on the radio side, 670 KBOI. But the Mountain West Network will have the stream. I don't know who's doing the play-by-play, but I see Nick Duncan over there for the color. And that'll be Boise State, Oakland on the Mountain West Network coming up here in 9 minutes or so. But, again, crowd filing in, a lot of expectations. Boise State going for 4 straight trips to the big dance. Boise State going for that first NCAA tournament win. They got 3 of the 10 players on the preseason All-Mountain West team. I mean, there's a lot of excitement, as you guys know, in this team, and that's evident by the viewership we're getting for this show right now, as evident by the crowd that's here in the building. This is just going to be a lot of fun, Boise State basketball, the next several months. And they got Oakland. They go to San Francisco on Saturday. They got Clemson next Sunday. Like, right out of the gate, some tough games here for Boise State. So we're excited to bring it to you here on Bronco Nation News Live. We'll have all kinds of tweets and things on my Twitter account, at BJ Rains, at BNN Bronco Nation. Jaden Finch is here as well, and we'll have the highlights and things coming up on the postgame show. I'll have a full story on the BroncoNationNews.com website. For the next 13 minutes, you can go read about Alvaro Cardenas. I wrote about him. He's up on the site. You can go to our YouTube channel, and you can watch our videos. And, again, super excited. The play-by-play man, by the way, is Garrett Jones. Appreciate Johnny for helping figure that out. Garrett Jones, the new voice of BSU women's basketball on the radio, Olympic sports for the Mountain West Network. And he'll be doing Garrett Jones will make his debut tonight as the play-by-play man with Nick Duncan on the Mountain West Network. But, again, we'll be back with the post-game show. We'll do our interviews with Leon and a couple players in about 30 minutes or so after the game ends. We'll give you time to get home or get the kids to bed. We'll jump on with post-game interviews, reaction, highlights, all kinds of stuff on the post-game show. Perry is watching from Lebanon, Oregon. Appreciate you, Perry, for watching in. We got folks in Tennessee as well. So we're having fun. We appreciate all you guys. They're going to get the national anthem going. We got to get off here due to contractual obligations, but a 50-minute show for free here on the YouTube channel at Bronco Nation News. So go support the sponsors, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our website, help us out if you can. And, again, we'll be back with the live post-game show after the game. Interviews, reaction, highlights. Come on back and enjoy us on the post-game show. Boise State kicking off a big campaign here at ExtraMile Arena, the season opener against a sneaky good Oakland squad. Again, they took down Kentucky in the first round of the NCAA tournament last year. So they're getting ready for the national anthem. We're going to jump off here. Go get a Western Collective Horseshoe Golden Ale or an Orange Chaos Seltzer. Prop your feet up. Switch over to the Mountain West Network and get ready to enjoy this one. Again, thanks to Max Rice, Abe Jackson, John Mallory, and Jaden Finch. Follow us on social media at BJ Rains, at BNN Bronco Nation. Go subscribe. Use that promo code BNN50 deal and get $20 off your first year at BroncoNationNews.com. And again, enjoy the game on the Mountain West Network. Give us about 30 minutes to get the interviews afterwards, and we'll join you back here for the postgame show on the YouTube channel of Bronco Nation News about 30 minutes after the game. So enjoy it, guys. Boise State basketball is back. It's going to be a fun season. We're super excited about this. We'll have you covered every step of the way. We'll talk to you on the postgame show. Boise State and Oakland, enjoy it. My name is BJ Rains, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Bronco Nation News is presented by RowPaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.